Hey, you don't have to. You can eat on there.
I know, but it grosses some people out.
Oh, hell, I don't care.
I was going to say, I don't really give a
or
shit.
Shut off your camera or whatever you want to do to eat. I don't care.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. What? I am doing my next video for my Witch's Cauldron.
Yeah.
And it's on numerology. My next video. Oh, hold on. Let me mute that bad boy.
Okay, babe.
And I wanted to give an example of how you break somebody's name down. Could I use Uber Goober Lady as an example?
Absolutely.
And I'll give you a plug on my channel.
Ooh, that would be nice. Absolutely. Yes, you can.
Yep.
Don't forget to do your live chat, babe.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be great, actually. I watched I was in there for your premiere yesterday, which was pretty cool. Oh, I like the one you did the other day about the different layouts.
The different spreads.
Yes, yes.
I've done one that were like real basic, and then those were the ones that once you get a little bit,
better at it. Hey, West Haven, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Of course, we got Paula here.
Hello.
We're going to do a little pair. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. So that's what I like about
neither
Paula.
Do I, because, we're just going to go
we're going to wing it tonight?
Of our britches.
I like it. That's normally the way we do it anyway. We have an idea and then we end up getting derailed.
I was going to say, we start out on a road, on a train track, going down the tracks, and we end up on a damn dirt road every time.
And it's usually us that do it.
And that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with having be the poster child for ADD.
Yeah. Hey, make sure we share this out.
I just twattered it out on my
Twitter. That's what I'm doing too, twattering it out. I was having problems today with Twitter, getting my messages and stuff. It was crazy.
Oh, we got the dab and the sanitizer. All right, West Haven.
There you go, West Haven. Yes, happy Easter to you too.
And you guys are going to get a surprise tonight when people start flowing in.
Yeah?
I've got a surprise even for Uber.
Ooh, I like surprises.
Well, I don't know if you'll like this one too much, but.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me you're going to quit YouTube.
No, they haven't run me off yet.
Okay, good.
Oh, we got some lurkers back there. There's 16 in the street.
Woo!
One person typing in the chat. Come on, guys, sound off so we know you're here.
Oh, we'll talk to West Haven. She's always she's always down for a good discussion.
A good discussion. Huh?
Yeah, she is. So you know what I did yesterday?
What did you do yesterday?
Well, my sister came over and she actually put out my outdoor furniture.
Yeah, you told me she was going to do your deck for you.
Yes, and she did. Bless her heart. Hugs, Nippy. Lots of love.
Boy, that's twice in a week we've seen Nippy after all this long.
No, we've missed you
for so long. We've missed her.
I know. Hey, Brenda.
Cooking but listening.
Woo! Well, I'm glad you guys are coming in. I have some salmon I need to cook after this. It's been in my refrigerator yesterday. I got to cook it today. Get it cooked up for dinner. But yeah,
how do you usually fix yours? Do you just bake it or do you steam it? What do you do?
Actually, this one I'll put in a frying pan. I miss you too, honey. I'll put it in a frying pan with some olive oil and just lightly sear it on both sides, well, until it's done. And then put a little bit of butter on it.
Yes, y'all, please make sure you share the stream.
Yeah. Please, please, please. It's been, with me coming back on, it's been kind of a hit or miss because I was so sick for a while, but I've been feeling a lot better lately. And so, yeah. Hey, Sergeant Pepper.
Give Uber a big round of applause. The girl has lost 30 pounds.
Woo!
Looking so good.
Thanks.
And not that you weren't beautiful before, but I know you feel better.
Thanks.
I feel better.
I do feel a lot better.
And sometimes, you know, I think once, especially people that have respiratory issues, I've missed you guys too. You know, we need to get back in the saddle and start doing this again. But we were
Yeah.
talking about that. We might have to change platforms to do it.
Yeah. D Live. Absolutely. D Live. I'm hoping I can get this figured out where I can also go on D Live at the same time I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I've seen other creators do it, like, you know, another channel that shall not be named. But, you know, it's a lot of times people that have respiratory issues do so much better when they switch to a keto diet.
Right.
Because it's like with all the yeast and the gluten and stuff, because, you know, you've got a lot less carbs. That contributes to your inflammation and you get more phlegmy in your lungs and everything.
Yeah,
And
West
so,
Haven said she's got asthma, so she probably knows. But also, did you know that, you know, that phlegm, a lot of your phlegm, if you drink like milk or a lot of dairy products, that, you know, contributes to a lot of that phlegm.
It does. It does. I mean, that's one of the things, like when I would have, like, you know, a sinus infection or something like that, I start cutting out all the dairy with the exception. I even switch over with my coffee. They make a ketogenic creamer.
Oh, yeah.
It's non-dairy.
Yeah.
So it makes a big difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to hit it hard again. Monday, the diet. I've been this week I've kind of been slack a little bit. So I'm going to hit it again hard Monday.
Well, you've had good reason to be a little slack.
Yeah, I know, but that's okay.
You're allowed to take a little bit of a break.
Oh my goodness. So, okay. So what are we going to talk about with paranormal?
Well, first thing we're going to talk about is happy birthday to you.
Tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you. Ooh. Happy birthday, dear Uber. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Yay! Thank you.
I won't sing it like my sister does. You look like a monkey and you smell like one
too. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our girl's birthday is tomorrow, everyone.
Yep. Oh, that's so sweet.
That's my the darkest day of my life was April the 12th.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me in my entire life. They threw fucking birdseed at me and I was wearing this white dress. And I was walking down the aisle to the son of Satan. And I didn't have enough sense to turn around and run. I knew when that fucking unity candle light that I was in for a long friggin' haul.
Well, see, my birthday isn't hard for you to remember then on the 12th.
Exactly right.
Oh my God, that's funny.
The two A12s locked out. You're April 12th and I'm August 12th.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. See, my son's birthday. Well, I won't even go there. But yes. Cool. Look at Brenda says, I drink a lot of hot tea. It seems to help loosen phlegm. Absolutely, Brenda.
Help a lot.
That's my coffee helps me in the mornings do that. Absolutely.
I do a lot of ginger tea that helps, like,
really
keep things up, or turmeric tea.
Yeah. I've heard of that. I've never heard of ginger tea.
It tastes like it. Ginger tea tastes good. Turmeric tea tastes like ass to me, but I'll drink it because it's good for me.
Ooh. You drink soda for your throat? Wow.
But yeah, so.
Okay, paranormal. What are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, it's kind of like I was thinking we could do chat's choice. What do you want us to talk about? Okay. Or we could each talk about one of our own experiences.
Ooh, we could do that.
That was scary that we haven't, talked about before.
Oh, gosh. Let me think. What would I know that we haven't talked about before?
Well, we could talk about, I don't think we've talked about the one with your brother not all that long ago. It wasn't really scary though.
Right, right.
Where your brother came to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about that, have we?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, we can do that. Well,
We
let me
family
set.
swap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh. So the stimulus package they passed. Yes, they did, West Haven. They sure did. When we're supposed to get it, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on it. But yes, they have.
I knew that it had stalled because they wanted to add something more for like businesses and stuff, and it didn't pass because of the Democrats the other day. And I didn't think they were going to come back into session until Monday to talk about
really?
small business. Yes, package.
Oh wow. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. She said she heard it was supposed to be coming next week.
I know that I saw that the IRS was like anybody who had e-filed that had direct deposits information, that they were like moving that up, and the IRS was working really hard to.
See, that's me. I filed electronically, and I have direct deposits, so I'm not too worried about that. If not paper, right? Yeah, the paper's going to take them longer, that's for sure. Absolutely. But if I can make a recommendation, if you guys get it, make sure you stick it away. Don't be going and spending it, for
if
right
you
now until
don't
all
need
this
it to
is
like keep a roof over your head.
Yeah. If you don't need it to keep a roof over your head, don't be going out and buying all these fancy TVs and shit.
Yeah, it's like, and I am really glad that there was like an income limit cutoff. Because, I mean, we're not going to get anything, and that's fine with me because we don't need it. We have sufficient income. It's not affecting us like it is so many people.
Oh, Brenda, thank you, honey.
Oh,
that's
isn't that
so
special?
Sweet. That's pretty.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, but just be careful. We don't know how long this is going to be taken, So, okay,
Yeah,
let me do some back. We'll get to this paranormal stuff because I don't want to get off on this other stuff right away. Well, just remember, West Haven, that, well, I don't mean to tell you how to spend your money, but I wouldn't be spending on too much stuff until we're done with this, rent, necessities, I guess is what I'm trying to say, but anyway, so as you all know, my brother passed away a year ago in January. And I really myself haven't heard too much from him. But Paula has. Hey, little lady, how's it going? Hey, what did she say? Hey. So anyway, I don't know how much of that kind of stuff you guys believe in, but Paula and I have always had this closeness about us. And my family seems to connect with her because of her abilities. So I'm going to let you take it from there, Paula.
Well, it goes both ways too.
Yes.
Because my sister passed away in April 26, 2016. We are coming up on the 4th anniversary for her. And my sister was a lot like Uber. I mean, personality wise and everything. She was a nurse. And she ended up she had COPD like Uber, and she let it get out of hand, and she ended up with pneumonia and became septic from the pneumonia.
Which is easy to do.
Which is very, very easy to do. I talked to her on Friday, and on Sunday morning, I was giving the order to have her removed from life support and let her go. And my sister likes Uber. And when Uber is not taking good care of herself, my sister comes and rats her out. And
her name is Sandy, and she tells on me.
My sister rats on Uber all the time. And Uber's mother and her brother have
Mhm.
come to visit me.
Mhm.
And back in, I want to say right before Christmas, Uber's brother popped in and told me that he was worried about her, that he knew she was having a very, very hard time,
Mhm. I was pretty sick.
and that she was not doing well,
Mhm.
and that she was sick and she was depressed and she was missing her family. Um, and that she really needed somebody to kind of reach out to her.
You know, the thing is, I never told anybody that I was sick.
No.
Nobody. I didn't tell my sister. I didn't tell anybody I was sick.
Well, your brother and my sister ratted on you.
Yeah. Oh,
And so I gave her a call and I said, "What's
sure
up?"
enough.
Because Michael says you're not doing well. And
That'll tell.
you need to fess up what's going on, girlfriend.
Yeah, that was weird. That was strange.
And Uber was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even say anything to anybody."
Yeah.
And that was when on one of her little sabbaticals,
Sean.
Sean, hello. And so even a lot of people have been here. I am, I was on this railroad track and now I'm going off on a dirt road. I have been getting so many like DMs and things from people saying that they have been having a lot of dreams about their families.
Yes. Yes.
And we mentioned this the other day when we were on
Yes, because I
live
told
in
you.
the afternoon. And, people are like, this is really out of character. What's going on? Everything. And I have two thoughts. Okay. One is, number one, if you are a sensitive or an empath or somebody who has some type of abilities right now, and Wilby says, "Oh my God, I've been dreaming about my
Yeah.
mother and my brother."
And look what did she say? I just did,
I
and I
just
woke
did
up
and woke up
sobbing.
sobbing.
See what is up with that? Everybody
see-
is having dreams.
I have been having out loud conversations in my sleep, and Dwight's like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Anyhow,
Well,
first thing
Sean.
is my abilities are dampened down right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is because of the pandemic. My
Right.
guides and my guardians have taken me from 10 and switched me back to 1. My abilities are enough.
Oh, West Haven, thank you very much. Mwah. A lot of love.
And hold on a second. Rocky needs to go potty.
Okay,
how
I'll
he is.
talk with
I'll be right
everybody.
back.
Hey, Wilby, good to see y'all. Yeah, I have no idea. Everybody's having these weird dreams lately. I don't know what the problem is. Sean, you haven't had a single dream of your mother in 20 years? Well, that's a long time, bud. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's not, I guess. Hey, Stitching Girl. Magnetic fields are funny right now. Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. Like Paula said, it could be the pandemic, but I don't know. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. They're cutting people off. Boy, that's a long time, Sean. She must have been fairly young. Lots of light coming into earth from heavens now. My mom visited me about a week ago. Oh, bless your heart. I dream of most of them happen sometime. Oh, never had one. Wow. 99. Holy crap. That's a long time. She was mid-60s. Wow, Sean. That's young. Mm-mm-mm. No, YouTube has not been behaving. Bunch of stuff is coming around. Yep.
I'll be here for a minute. They're running around the backyard.
Oh, are they?
Investigating
Hey,
everything.
Shaza. Same with my mom, Sean,
we
10
have a
years.
skunk in the common area right behind the house.
Oh, shh.
And it's driving my boys absolutely insane.
Have they gotten sprayed yet?
No, no, luckily
Well,
he's staying. I think he's burrowed underneath an old tree stump from a tree that fell down about 15 years ago.
right.
And I think that's where it is. But, you know, you can, when you've got a dog that's deaf, whose nose is like triple sensitive, and then, you know, I've got a pit bull and then a pit lab mix. They're big snoofy ones too.
Right.
It's just driving them absolutely insane. So they've got to go and make sure, you know, there haven't been any, as I say, varmint Kong VC in the
Oh my
perimeter.
God. Bless their hearts.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you know, and the same thing, you know, my dad, I lost him in 93 and I lost my mom in 2001. So it's been,
Right.
you know, almost 20 years for my mother,
Right.
more than 20 for my dad.
Well,
And
Stitching Girl seems to think that there's a magnetic field out there.
And there are these things that are called ley lines that are naturally occurring magnetic fields on the earth, and it's ley lines. And do you guys, have you ever seen anybody with dowsing rods, the like two copper
Yeah.
rods?
Yeah.
You can walk through and
They use those
they
for
will
getting water too.
they will cross if you're over water, or they will show you whether it's a positive or a negative charge of a ley line.
Yeah, they'll go whoop, whoop.
And that's a very effective tool also when you're doing paranormal investigations, because you can use your EMF meter like for electrical stuff and like, but your EMF meters don't work for like ley lines, but dowsing rods do. So if you're
Wow.
doing outside stuff, you can also use in England, there's ley lines all over the place. That's exactly right.
Wow, will be.
And one of the cases that I investigated out in Front Royal was like right at the convex of a bunch of ley lines. And hello, Greg Man.
Hey, Greg Man.
And but right now, I think anybody who has any about of, you know, very much any kind of abilities, you're being turned down, especially if you have empath abilities. In other words, you pick up on other people's emotions and their pain. Well, there's a lot of pain and suffering going on in the world right now. There's a really high level of anxiety going on right now with everybody. People are scared. So I think that a lot of our guides and guardians have kind of turned our waking abilities down. And so we're having dreams, which is the subconscious, where people are coming in to like deliver messages through interactions with your family. And that's how they're like communicating things to you that you need to know, is having your family come in and loved ones that have passed on
Right.
during your dream state.
Wow. Well, I know there's a lot of people that are, dreaming. So
Yeah, and I have not had this level of activity. I mean, like we were all together on my grandmother's farm in West Virginia. Now, mind you, that place burned down. The original house burned down in 2004 on Christmas Day. So it's not even there anymore. Her farm, as it existed when I was a kid, is gone. It's now a big Angus beef farm.
mhm.
And all of the orchards are gone. I mean, she had peach orchards, apple orchards, cherry orchards, you know, the whole 9 yards. All the like outbuildings are razed and everything else. And they bought where my uncle was when they moved into that area. They bought hundreds of acres and they parceled it out to each kid when they got married. And my grandmother was the last one in the family to get married because she was a school teacher. And back in the early 1900s, unless you were a single woman, once you got married, you couldn't be a school teacher anymore. You had
Hey,
to quit.
vintage. Yes, it is, honey. Very trying.
It is very trying time for empaths. So, anyway, it's like I keep having this like recurring dream that we're up on the farm and my aunt and my uncle are there that have passed on. My sister that's even alive is there. And it's like,
Wow.
it's like, it's almost like you're astrally traveling to like
Right.
little family reunions or something like that. And like the dreams that I've been having have been more positive and uplifting, like remembering good times and, try to giving you a little bit of a uplift in spirit than to, you know,
Right.
focus on like warnings where most of the times people get like warnings and premonitions of bad things. And
Right.
everything that I've heard lately is people have just been having like feel good moments with their family in their dreams, even though they consciously know they're not really there, but they are there subconsciously.
Okay, I have something I want to discuss because I follow this guy by the name of Side Road or Side Trip Adventures, Side Road Adventures. I can't remember. But anyway, he visits old graveyards. I know
Yeah.
I'm going to change the subject here real quick.
Okay.
So,
Different dirt road now.
yeah, we're on a different railroad track.
Okay.
So, anyway, yesterday I watched one of his new videos to where he went to this graveyard and he found what supposedly, which is just a story, folklore story, but it's an old witch's grave, one of them.
Okay.
And they buried this witch with rocks on top of her, supposedly to keep her spirit from not being able to get out.
Correct.
Is that what I mean? Hey, what
That's
big
a lot.
eyes? Hello.
That was common, especially back like during the witch trials and stuff like that. If you didn't get burned at the stake, you were drowned with like rocks weighted down on you and stuff like that. But it was very common to pile the grave of a witch up with rocks with the belief that the rocks would keep her contained in the earth so that she couldn't come out and haunt you or do anything like that. And it would neutralize like some very famous curses have been laid on areas when witches were killed by like mob or hanging
Right.
and stuff like that. And so they were afraid that the curses would come out and come to fruition so that they would then bury them under rocks, hoping that the curse would be neutralized.
Can you imagine living back in like in the witch uh, Salem days where anybody'd have to say, well, it's kind of like that way here on YouTube
I
too.
was gonna say, well, we're going through it right now. Just
Yeah,
typical shit going on in the drama community.
yeah. All you have to do is point a finger and you're guilty.
Exactly.
I mean, can you imagine what it was like back there in those witch hunt days, where all they have to do is point a finger at you, whether you were a witch or not, practicing witch or not, and say witch, and all of a sudden, boom, everybody's on you and burning you to the stake.
Well, and it's like while the Salem witch trials here in the United States were bad, okay, they were nothing compared to what was done during the Inquisition.
Which means what?
The Spanish had everything torture wise down to a T.
For witches?
For
witches?
For heretics, for Jews, for gypsies, or the Romani.
Yeah,
the
Roman.
All of that, they had it down. I mean, the Salem witch trials were tame compared to what they did during the Inquisition in Europe and the witch trials in Europe, because
Really?
they had this little nice book that was written called the Malleus Maleficarum. And that was basically the handbook of how to figure out if somebody was a witch.
What?
And all of the ways that you use to get them to admit that they're witches.
Oh no. What would they do? Tell me.
Oh, well, that you could get drawn and quartered. but do it slowly. They would have you like strapped up, and they would like keep cranking, just one crank, until eventually you were ripped in half. They would like gut you and
Ooh.
eviscerate you and let your guts just hang out while you were still alive.
Oh my
Burn you
God.
alive at the stake like they did Joan of Arc. They said Joan of Arc was a witch and a heretic.
Oh,
That's why she got burned.
yeah, I know that, but oh my God.
They had, I mean, just you remember the old thing, the Iron Maiden that looked like the sarcophagus with the spikes in it, where they
Yeah,
would close you up and those spikes would go in and
yeah,
you
yeah, through it. Yeah, yeah.
that's where all of that crap came from.
Oh my God,
And
you're
I mean,
kidding
they
me.
did some really vicious shit, and then they would decapitate you and put your head out of a on a pike out on the town wall.
Look at what my big eye says. Mary Dyer of
Quaker.
Quick. Wow, that's cool. Oh my God, you're kidding me.
And people still, you can still get copies like on Amazon of the Malleus Maleficarum to read.
My God. So it don't matter. I mean, and they wouldn't have been saved anyway if they would have. I mean, if they would have admitted, okay, yeah, I'm a witch, they wouldn't. They would
You
still
still
kill
got
them.
killed. If
Yeah,
you admitted it, you got killed, and if you didn't admit it,
you still got killed. You got
you still
tortured.
got killed. And it's like
Yeah,
the old thing, you know, if you're a witch, they'd throw you weighted down and throw you into the water. And if you swam, then you were a witch. But if you drowned, you were innocent. So there's how they could tell the difference.
exactly. Sean, Stitching Girl says it's an expensive book.
It is an expensive book, but you can get like the reprinted stuff of the
Sean
Malleus.
says, once accused, you were done either way.
Either way, it didn't matter.
Can you imagine? Who thinks of that kind of crap? To hurt another human being with, but back then, I mean, it wasn't civilized anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I mean, we're not very civilized now as it is
No,
anyway.
I mean,
Sometimes.
yeah, that's true.
I repeat, look at the idiots on YouTube.
That's true.
But
That's
yeah,
very true. Oh my God. So what? Okay, so I'm gonna go there. So what if they didn't want their bodies to be buried? Would they burn them, or would they feed them to the pigs? What would they do?
either of those were possible, but the big problem with like the feeding with the pigs, you were still alive when you got thrown in,
Oh, don't tell me that.
and you were eaten alive.
Hey, Whiplash, how's it going?
And
Oh my gosh. Feed it to the pigs? Oh God, that just
and the thing of it is, now that they're doing some more, you know, research like with the Salem witch trials and stuff,
yeah.
there is a big well, a pretty decent theory out there that the girls that started with like these hysterical fits and these, you know, visions and everything,
Mhm.
that they were actually like the grain had mold in it, and this mold was making them have like hallucinations and stuff. And that's what they were thinking was beyond it. Medieval England was barbaric, and not forgetting the Spanish Inquisition. That's exactly right.
We need to get into this.
Some
This is very interesting to me.
Oh my God, like, you know, the Tudors, you know, Henry.
Yeah.
Henry was a master at having people like freaking locked up and tortured to death. And it wasn't just his wives that he did it with either.
Hey, you guys. Hey,
Let me go get my boys back in. They're out there acting.
Yeah. Go do that. Okay, guys. So we're going to go down this rabbit hole on this. This is very interesting to me because I always wondered, like Sean said, you were damned if you do, damned if you don't. You were guilty before, hey, everybody, happy Easter coming up tomorrow. Oh, right, Sean, and I love history. But I was always wondering, you know, you were damned if you do, damned if you don't. Somebody could just point a finger and say, you're guilty, you are a witch. And you're dead. It's all over with but the crime, boys and girls. Grab your knickers and go on. Try to get out of there. Yeah, exactly. Locks and stocks. Grab your knickers and kiss your ass goodbye. That's all you can do. That's it. Ghost hunters nowadays would have been witches back then. Absolutely, Brenda. I agree 100%. I agree. I just can't believe it. They were barbaric, weren't they, back then? Holy shit. I would have never come out. Never. I would have been puritanical times. Yes. Holy shit.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that I have always been a history buff.
Mm-hmm.
And I really started down like the path of like the torture and everything when I was in high school and I was studying French. We had to do like write a paper in French on a prominent period in French history. And I did mine on Catherine de Medici or Catherine de Medici.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a whack job. Her kids were whack, but she was really into the occult. Like she was all about the writings of Nostradamus and things like
Right.
that. And, you know, even back then, Michel de Nostradamus or Nostradamus had to be the reason that he wrote his prophecies the way that he did, like poetic quatrains, was because he would have been called a heretic and treated and tortured as a heretic.
Yeah.
Especially because he was also a plague doctor. And
right.
He was a fairly successful plague doctor, other than the fact his family succumbed to the plague when he was out treating other people. His wife and child died from the plague.
So, okay, so he never was accused of being a witch.
No, but he was very, very close.
Right.
And that was the reason that because he used a method of divination that was called scrying. And any method of divination was considered heresy back then.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, you know, he would get like a bowl of water, a dark bowl, you float some black ink on the top and you focus on it. And that's how you scry. Okay.
Right.
Like
Okay.
people use a crystal ball. You can do fire scrying with flame. There's any number of ways to do scrying. But you know, he was on the verge of being considered a heretic, except for the fact that Catherine de Medici was one of his patronesses.
Wow.
And that family, that line was, you know, he was kind of like hooked into the court because he predicted the death of one of her kids and the way that he died
right.
and everything.
Right.
So, you know, that was the only thing that basically kept him from being tried as a heretic.
So what do you think in today's terms he was?
I think he was a medium and I think he was a psychic.
Okay.
You know, and I believe he was with his innate abilities, the way that he was so successful in like treating the plague, he was really pretty brilliant as far as like cleanliness. He knew to like have the places completely cleaned out, to take out their like the rushes that they used for their bedding that would have had all the fleas and the droppings from the rats and everything in it, to have all that cleaned out, to give them fresh linens, to clean them, to bathe them, to, you know, like basically disinfect everything.
Right.
And he was pretty well, he knew about washing your hands with like carbolic soaps and stuff like that. So yeah,
Rat droppings, right, Connie?
that was it,
So, hey, Mary. So, okay. So once a witch was condemned and
Mhm.
killed, what would happen to her family? Were they also condemned?
A lot of times they were, unless they came out and condemned her or him and said that they were a witch. In other words, they gave testimony against their family member.
Oh.
And a lot
Lovable
of
Rogue,
times, go ahead.
lovable, we're all over everywhere. Hey, Cheryl, my sweetie. Um, let me see. Lovable Rogue wants to know, were they not made of feathers and hay?
It was a lot of them, the very, very poor just had like rushes or hay. They didn't have like feather mattresses and stuff. The down and the feathers were usually for the more well off. But, kept happening in your room at the hospital as of yesterday. Had surgery, have to learn to walk again, and they
Wow,
damaged
that's
the vocal.
tough.
That is so horrible, Cheryl. I am so sorry. I'm going to be sending you lots of love and healing energy your way, Cheryl.
Yeah, definitely.
It
Definitely.
will get better. It will get better.
Mm-mm-mm.
You've got some tough days ahead, but it'll get better. You'll come around.
Just know that you're loved by everybody. We send you a
Hospitals
bunch of love.
are a good place for hauntings because a lot of people, you guys have heard me talk about displaced souls, and one of them is people who die traumatically or suddenly and they don't realize that they're dead. Well, they're there still walking up and down the halls of the hospital,
Mhm.
not realizing that they've died.
Okay, I will tell a story if I can remember it the way it happened. So I was working down in Colorado years and years and years ago, and I had the night shift in this nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a nurse assistant, or what do you call I cleaned up poopies is what I did.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to work the next day. Now I was brand new at this, so I didn't know anything about anything. I was brand new, I was young. Anyway, I looked down the hallway and there's a gurney there with the body laying covered up. Okay, I didn't
Uh-huh.
know. So I went down there and all of a sudden that son of a gun sat up. I am not shitting you. Sat up, scared the piss right out of me. Now, how is that?
Well, do you want that is entirely possible through the process of rigor and livor mortis
It happens.
for the muscles to act a fool and like twitch or make it like set up and contract and
It
scare the
happens.
living hell
Well, I
out of
mean, they
it.
didn't sit completely up, but they sat up.
Yeah,
It scared the shit right
it's
out
like
of
they
me.
like it's like the spine rolls forward and then back.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. And that's just, unfortunately, that's the normal process of rigor and livor mortis.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, it was nuts. Connie says, yep, worked at a hospital right next to the endoscopy area. Swear I heard my father's voice call out to me so much, so I went to look. It was abandoned because endo closes early. Ooh, that would have been.
Yep. Hospitals, mental hospitals, and prisons are very haunted. And, prisons, a lot of times, if it's through an act of violence,
Yep.
and then another kind of displaced soul is one that doesn't want to move into the light because they don't want to face judgment. So if they think that they've done so much bad stuff on the face of this earth, they're running away from the masters and the gods trying to keep them from taking them into the light. You know what I'm saying? They don't want
Right.
to go in the light because they don't want to they think they're going to get sent to hell and they don't want to go for judgment day.
Well, why is your camera off, goofball?
It is?
Yeah, there
Well,
you go. There you are.
geez, I thought I clicked it back on a minute ago.
Way to go.
Well, it could be that there's somebody here helping. If you see a ball back here somewhere, one of my family members is back here. I think
Uh,
I think Aunt Rose is here.
oh, good old Aunt Rose.
Yeah. Yep.
And Connie said it was freaky because her dad's alive. So that's kind of, Wilby said my uncle worked at a mortuary and he would say that the bodies would set up on their own.
Yep.
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 It
And
was freaky.
people can actually do what is called astral travel or astral projection. And a lot of when it would be talked about witches, flying, a lot of times it's witches, their stories when they're traveling the astral plane, they're not really riding a broom.
Right.
Although there were some of the older rites and rituals that they would like anoint themselves with this flying ointment that had like psychotropic properties to it. And when it was absorbed through the skin, you would like have visions and stuff. But they would like run around with their brooms in the fields for like Samhain, and then people were say they were flying.
Uh-huh.
They say when you die, your brain is still alive for a little bit. Well,
I believe that.
yeah. It's
do.
there until your soul decides to detach and move on.
Got all kinds of stuff going out here outside the door. What the hell?
But yeah,
I can astral travel.
I was going to say astral
Winky.
travel is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And a lot of people do it without even realizing that they're doing it when they're asleep.
Really?
Yeah, because that's that level of your subconsciousness is
Right.
like when you go into a trance state, it's just before you completely fall asleep. It's that level of your subconscious. That's where you access like the astral realm, and you can
Wow.
travel. And you've heard me talk about like the Akashic records that are the records of all time, past and forward for everybody. So yeah.
Have been done that where they weighed people who were close to death, and at the time of death, there was a decrease in weight, like their souls left their body. Wow. Huh. That's weird.
Well, I know that I was there.
Hey, Winky, big love.
I was there with my dad and my sister when they passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only one in the room with my sister because her kids couldn't handle it.
Right.
And I was the one there with my dad. My dad's pulmonary artery burst and he hemorrhaged to death. And I was there with him when that happened.
Oh, bless his heart.
And well, it was a blessing in disguise. Like my mom used to say, there's always a lesson and a blessing in everything. And the blessing was that, we didn't have to watch him waste away from stage 4 lung cancer.
Right.
He was still very kind of hale and hearty. I mean, he had just beat, a bout of pneumonia and he was a little weak, but he was still, like 200 pounds and 6'2". He hadn't wasted away to nothing from cancer or chemo treatments. And I'm not sorry, Lovable Rogue, because it was a privilege to be there for both of them.
Yeah.
And, I feel very blessed and very lucky to have been there for both of them. But when they passed, and like I told my dad, I said, Pop, I'll take care of Mama, you can go. And my dad's eyes flew open and he gave his last agonal breath. And I literally saw like a wisp of smoke come up off his body, turn into a ball, and then shoot up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that same exact thing happened when I had the doctor take my sister off life support. The only thing that was, left hooked up was her EKG. So we could tell when she actually, passed.
Right.
But she was removed from the ventilator and I had her extubated so she wouldn't be uncomfortable.
Right.
But, you know, it's like, I told her, it's like, Sandy, it's okay. I'll take care of everything. You don't need to worry about anything. I'll take care of everything
Oh,
just like we talked about. And it was almost like the last 6 months of her life, it's almost like she knew that she was not long for the earth because
mhm.
she changed her will. She put me in charge because she knew her kids would leave her on life support. I mean, she'd still be on life support if it was up to them. And she knew that I would be the only one close that would have the wherewithal to remove her from life support.
Right, right.
And you know, the same thing. Her kids would not have had, even though her daughter, my niece, is only 9 years younger than I am. She's in, you know, her 40s. She does not cope well with changes. And she just completely shut down when her mom died. And they would
Um,
have no more been able to handle her estate than anything in the moon. But when she
yeah,
died,
some normally kids like that, if they can't handle, then they wouldn't be able to do an estate because there's so much that
right,
comes with that.
there is a lot that goes with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, so when she passed, it was like she had been declared like brain dead. But when I said, Sandy, I'll take care of everything,
Hmm.
her hand squeezed my finger because I was holding
Hmm.
her hand. And then I saw that mist, the ball, and the shot of light
Oh,
up through the
Jesus.
ceiling again. And it was really kind of funny because when I went in that morning, my sister was neurologically compromised. I mean, she would have been a vegetable if she had survived this event anyway. And she died with a smile on her face, where when I walked in, you know how stroke patients, their faces droop?
Hmm. Hmm.
That was what she looked like, but she died with a smile on her face.
Oh, bless
And the
her
same
heart.
thing with my mother had Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And when she was out in Denver with my sister Pat, and she died with a smile on her face. And we all said that it was because, you know, dad and the family were there.
Right.
And I know that mom and dad were standing there waiting for Sandy to pass because my
Oh,
sister Pat was in Denver and she didn't get home in time to be there she couldn't get a flight in.
little lady says, my mom said she saw children in her room before she died. I never quite understood why. Well, can I ask you, did your mom have two miscarriages? Two, a boy and a girl? Sorry, that's what I'm
That's
getting.
exactly what I picked up on when I saw
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. So, okay, so Connie says, so that is true. Did not think about that, having to die alone.
She did.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were back probably in the late 50s, early 60s, from what I'm
Mhm.
gathering. Let me know if I'm right. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, husband passed away. It was shortly after her husband passed away. She lived for another 2 years. Oh, her grandmother. Yeah, that's tough, that Alzheimer's for
Midwestern
sure.
Mary, that nursing home previously like an orphanage or a group home at one point in history?
Boy, that would run around naked in her room. She used to say that she was in an elderly nursing home. She had no idea. Hmm. Isn't that true? Sometimes they die of a broken heart. Absolutely.
Yep, they do.
My husband said he saw my daughter before he went into a coma. Yep. Yep. Oh, that's so sad.
And that's very, you know, common that, you know, you've got your gods, your guardians, your ancestors, your angels, you know, your elders, your masters, the whole 9 yards.
Hmm.
And your gods, your guardians, and your family members are there. It could have been a group home. Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of
Wow.
explains it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's so much that goes on that have never really, um, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Prove,
Right.
I guess, right when it comes to the time of passing. But, you know, the ones that have passed, such as my stepfather, before he passed, he was talking to his, you know, to his mother. He was talking to his previous deceased wife. He was talking about feeding birds. My mother, right before she passed, was dreaming about my uncles being around her bed, waking her up in the middle of the night. So, you know, these little instances, in my opinion, are kind of proof in my way that there is another life. There is more that we are going to be seeing.
It doesn't end with a physical body being in
No.
a hole in the ground or in a little box
Mhm.
of ashes.
Right, right.
And it's like, it's really funny. And I didn't realize this until I was doing research on I'm doing on my channel, my next
Hang on just a
video.
sec. Hang
Go
on
ahead.
just a second. Little lady, your mom's fine, honey.
Yeah.
Don't be sad. Your mom is fine. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, she is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a video on numerology and how it works in with
Yes.
divination. And, you know, think back to your high school, like algebra courses. Do you remember the Pythagorean theorem?
Right.
He is the one, I did not realize this until I was doing the research on numerology. He is the one that came up with the concept of the transmigration of souls from body to body. I did not know that.
No
So
way.
Pythagoras, from your, you know, like your Greek philosophers and everything like that, was the first one that said that your soul does not die, that it moves from body to body and lives on. And that's called transmigration of souls.
Right. That's pretty cool. That'll be interesting. You guys, make sure you go over, can you type in the room so that they can?
Well, they can't do that anymore. You can't do the channel.
Oh,
Go
but
to
they
the
can,
channel anymore.
well, you can put your link in there, can't you?
Yeah, hold on just a minute.
Hey, Terry Lynn, I was going to call you this morning. How are you, honey? I was going to call you. I've been busy outside and just trying to get some stuff done. Yes, there is. I hope you're okay, sweetheart. Hey, Simon, you little doll. Are you down in Florida? You're staying locked up, I hope.
There's my channel.
There you go. You guys go over and check out Witch's Cauldron. She does videos. She's got a lot of training in there, tarot readings that you can brush up on. She talks about everything and anything. I want some of those crystals. I want to win that crystals.
Comment on the video, girl.
Yes, I'm going to. I'm going to. I want that.
I am having a little Beltane
giveaway
day for Wiccans and pagans.
Yep.
And I'm having a giveaway for Beltane, and I went over 3,100 subs.
I'm so happy for you.
And go over there, find the video called Beltane 2020 giveaway, comment underneath and subscribe to the channel and you'll be entered.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a nice little set of stones with a pendulum and some crystal points. And the stones are all healing stones that are corresponded to your chakras.
We're not all girls.
Yeah, guys and gals.
I just love that. Well, I hope you guys have had a good time today. Have you, Paula?
Yes, I have. We have to, do we want to put your D-Live link in here?
Oh, yeah. Let me.
I think what we're going to do, because a lot of times when Uber and I get on here, we get trolled incessantly by one certain person who just loves me and Uber to death. And damn, they didn't even show up, and I wore my troll shirt just for them. Damn it. I'll show everybody my troll shirt. It
Get
says,
this troll shirt.
buckle up, Buttercup. You just flipped my witch switch. There you go. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to start doing paranormal nights over on D Live, because over there you can't, it's very, very difficult to create a troll account on D Live because they require more steps to verify who you are.
Yep.
So we are going to be doing paranormal nights over on D Live.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we are.
I love it too, Lovable Rogue. My better half bought this for me. I was like,
I know, that's pretty cool, huh?
That shirt.
He did a good job, tell him.
He did a good job, you know?
Oh my gosh. Well,
So yeah, be sure to go over there on to D Live and sign up, get you an account, and be sure to follow Uber Goober.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You can throw lemons and oranges, which is basically like, I think, what is it, 12 cents? It's 12 cents a lemon.
Something like that.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We can play music over there, which is what we're going to be doing. It's just a lot of fun over there.
Yeah, we can do more things like show like video clips of paranormal stuff, and you know, without having all the copyright restrictions that you have over here on YouTube.
Yeah, we can show some awesome paranormal clips.
Because, you know, we've talked about this in the past about like doing a paranormal spotlight like on famous places in the US. You know what I want D Live to come up with is unicorns fart and glitter. And that should be, you know, that's like a $10 D Live or something like that.
We'll be over there. It's a compliment if you do that. You're tipping your person.
Yeah, if you throw them, you know, it's kind of like the way of doing super chats, but they don't take as much of the percentage, number one.
No.
And number two, it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot more fun. You can throw lemons at Uber.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So make sure you just hit that little link that I just gave you. Oh, thank you. And matter of fact, we might try to go up on it tomorrow. If I can get this thing worked out, I'm going to go on it tomorrow and then here tomorrow too.
Sounds good.
At the same time, if I can get this thing worked out.
Yeah, but I'm going to do like, you know, like do something like the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans or the Turtles Plantation.
Yeah.
Or the Charleston City Jail, in Charleston, South Carolina. One of my favorite places on the face of this earth is Savannah, Georgia. It is the most haunted city in America.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
And do stuff like that, and then be able to, you know, do ones over in the UK too, like Leap Castle and some of the other places, you know, even do like a little history lesson on Stonehenge or something like that too.
See the Myrtles. Yes, Connie, that I'm very interested in too. Oh, just click the link. It just takes a second, Will be. There's nothing to it, babe. It's easy. Easy peasy. Pray to St. Anthony to help me find things every time I notice when a Catholic came in my room. Things really started happening. That's not good. Yeah, just pray.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I am going to get off of here because I'm going to go make myself some salmon for dinner.
Yum.
Yep. That's it's been out of the freezer since yesterday, so I gotta get it cooked.
Yeah, I'm here. I had grilled cheese for dinner tonight.
Ooh, I thought, you know what? I shouldn't say my sister found me some keto bread at Albertsons yesterday.
Oh, good.
No carbs whatsoever. And oh my gosh, it was so good.
Is it made with like almond flour? Or?
I got to look at it. I didn't even look at it, but I know it's got like 23 carbs and then 23 fibers. So 0 carbs. 0 carbs. And that fiber works good.
Yeah.
So I would think it would have some flax
Some flax
seeds.
seeds,
Flax seed in it. Mhm.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to show you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've got it in the fridge right now.
And
So
Cheryl, St. Anthony is a good one. St. Michael is my guy. You know, I had a little bit of a tangle in my dreams the other night, and I called on old St. Michael myself,
Mhm.
and he came in and kicked some ass for me
Good.
because I
Good.
had been awake for 3 days with no sleep.
Oh my
So
God, that's not good.
yeah, I was not in a position to be able to. My defenses were like really
That's
down.
right, Connie. He
Saint
does.
Michael, defend us in battle. That's exactly right. Even when I'm asleep, I can remember that prayer, even in my sleep.
Well, I love each and every one of you. What do you got to say to the folks?
You know what I always say, especially right now. Hope you, your family are well and healthy and have everything that you need and be well and walk in love and light, everybody.
That's right. And remember, everybody, there's always a rainbow after the storm. I love each and every one of you. I want to thank you for coming in today and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye.